There is a nationwide goal for the United States to reach a 90% graduation rate by the year 2020. Having high school graduates is important for the economy, especially since the number of jobs that require, at most, a high school diploma is expected to shrink. The state of Missouri is on track, along with 17 other states, to reach this goal. However, there is still work to be done to make sure the 90% goal is reached. The American Graduate Initiative is one of many dedicated to finding solutions to the dropout crisis in America. In fact, the initiative focuses on many areas in the country, including St. Louis. As the dropout crisis is central to the work of the initiative, so are the voices of youth in the community. Hi, I'm Jasmine Brown. I recently sat down with 11 youth in the St. Louis area to talk about the crisis. Our one-on-one conversations focused on the definition of success, challenges that high school students face, why students drop out of school, education inequalities that they have noticed within the region, and what their advice would be to high school students just like them. Here are their voices. The word success. I am sure that many different definitions, feelings, even images come to mind when you hear that word. The youth that were interviewed all viewed the word positively, but had their own personalized definitions of what this word means. Let's see what they think success is and what it means to them to be successful in high school.
I would define success as your measure of capability. If you're capable of doing something and you succeeded, that you're trying to have success. And so I don't think success is an outcome. I just think success, I would define it as something that you're working towards.
Being happy with yourself. I don't think success is a place or a specific milestone. Success is peace.
Graduating, going to college, having a nice paying job, like $20 an hour or more.
When you achieve something that you have been trying to get for the long haul. Someone that I believe reached success is like LeBron James, because I believe he wanted to be looked at as the best basketball player in the game, and right now he is.
Be able to be comfortable, being able to do what you like and have a future. Not doing the same thing, but experiencing life different. You got some people that you see doing the same thing every day, like in the same city, same neighborhood. Experiencing life, I want to experience life, like different things. Go see different parts of the world, stuff I ain't never seen before.
To be successful in high school, for me, would be to juggle all the social aspects as well as academic and be involved. Most people don't think that high school is a career, but it definitely is.
Making sure you're prompt, ready for every class, on time, all the time, and never try to get any tardies, but you got your notes, you got your books, ready to learn something in class.
Coming in on time every day, doing what you gotta do, being serious about it, and completing it.
Academic success will look like, I won't say straight A's, because I feel like you could be successful but still have B's and C's as long as you try your hardest and do what you are capable of doing, do like your best. I feel like you could be successful.
Just completing all your work and understanding the material, not even like if you don't know something, you go ask. You just don't sit there because somebody else doesn't know it. You don't want to look stupid. You do whatever you need to complete the class.
People say grades, but I say the same thing. It's like being happy, Just make sure everything is balanced. That's success in high school. Where you can have friends, where you can go to parties and you can do all this stuff, but also have the grades.
Where did you go to high school is a famous question in St. Louis. This question gives insight on who someone may be as a person, what type of education they received, where they lived, and even a person's societal class status. This question can show multiple differences among the residents of St. Louis. It also shows differences among the high schools in the region. When asked about the differences of schools in the St. Louis area, the youth tended to concentrate on levels of education and resources available to each school.
went to Melville High School. And so for a day I swapped and went to a St. Louis public high school. It was a startling experience. I'm not going to say that I went to a top tier school, just a pillar of shining education, but it was sort of not a wake-up call, just sort of brought me back down to earth.
I don't feel like the resources are evenly spread across between the county schools and the inner city. So I don't feel like everybody's getting the equal opportunity.
City schools, they give us the old books. I look in the back of the day and they say last update 2008. I'm like, this 6 years ago, I wasn't even in high school, you know. This ain't no information. The new history book don't even have Obama in it. The county schools, they get new books. They book might have Obama in it, you know. They might have update on Syria, stuff like that.
I attended an AP physics class in my day that I spent there. I just noticed that the books were very old, probably pretty dated. As sort of a science that's constantly evolving, you would think that the materials would be new, that would be updated.
Normally, I went there, we didn't have no accreditation. The lunch was nasty. Like, the school was dirty. Like, we had to wear uniforms, and then they was ugly. So they really ain't have no up-to-date technology for real. It was basically like a school you would not want to go to.
Comparing McClure to Pattonville, like, they have great resources. They get laptops, they get all this stuff. We don't have all of that. Like, we're good, like we're able to do our projects, we're able to, you know, do everything we need, but we just don't have as much as they do.
Some of the schools, their academic schedule is like way different from ours. Because if you talk to some students, you be like, oh, what are you learning in school? They tell you, and we're like, oh, we learned that like a month ago or something like that. I feel like some students don't get academically caught up.
In most city schools, they offer less AP classes, but they expect students to take AP classes, take these hard courses, but they don't offer enough of them. It was 5 seniors who wanted to do it, but they said the teacher refused to do it because she said she wanted 15 kids on board her class, or she would, because it would be pointless for her to teach 5 kids. In my opinion, it would be easier to teach 5 kids. It's 5 kids. AP chemistry is not easy. 5 kids, you can have one-on-one with each one of us. I got Franklin County, they offer extensive AP classes.
If I was doing good at the time, I don't think I would have got into a good college or none of that because they didn't have accreditation. And then when I left from there, I went to Riverview, and they didn't have accreditation. But when I went to McCoy South Berkeley, it's a nice school. They had sports and all that. They could pay for stuff, you know, nice computers, nice lunchroom. Everything was nice, you know. It was a different environment. And the teachers taught totally different. And normally the work was easy, but school was stupid. They ain't have no accreditation. Didn't nobody do nothing.
I didn't feel like the teachers were connecting with the students. They were sort of just teaching instead of teaching to the students. They were more just standing at the front of the classroom talking while the students did whatever they wanted to do.
And the city is majority black. You might see in your class 1 white person. You might, and out the school day, you might see 5. But in the county, you mix and mingle with white kids, Mexican kids, different races.
It's a new kid came to our school. He came from a private school. He came from DeSmit, our boy high school. And he told the class before he got there, he told us that he was failing at his private school. He came to public school. He was like, this stuff is easy. I'm passing instantly. So he showed me his transcripts and everything. I was like, wow, you were failing at DeSmit. And he was like, yeah, public school is easy. They taught us way harder than they teach you guys.
Inner city school kids don't have any different from county schools. It's just they're exposed more, you know. They have teenage parents just like the county schools do. They, you know, fall into the drug category just like the inner city. They have problems economically, just like the inner city. You know, you just don't hear about them. But they have more resources to say, oh, well, we can take you here. The counselors probably care more, or we can do this for you, or we have daycare for you, or we'll find a way to get this finished. And I've seen that. Especially I talked to my friends at Clayton, and they're like, yeah, we have teenage moms, you know, they have daycare for them. They find a way to get them to school, make it on time, even if they're late.
Not everyone has the same advantages I do. Not everyone is given the opportunity to take as many classes. Not everyone has teachers that are invested in them, that want them to succeed.
We will never understand the issues that students face while attending high school until we allow them to express these challenges. Some of these challenges may be catalysts to thoughts of dropping out. The youth in this segment explain their struggles and hardships while trying to be a successful student.
I was making a lot of poor decisions, the wrong decisions during high school, and I was hanging around the wrong people, but I still can't blame them people because I still made the choices I made. Skipping, I guess smoking, and I call off from work just to be in the neighborhood.
Sophomore year, my grades had went down because my sister got murdered that year. It was something I thought about while I was sitting in class all the time, and it actually affected me emotionally, and I didn't really notice it.
Me and my mom had got into a huge argument, like physically. It got physical. The police were called. That was the first time I actually fought back. You get tired of getting beat up and chastised all the time for little things. Growing up, I never looked at it as abuse, but now that I'm looking back on it, I don't want to say my mom is an abuser or whatever. I would never say that, but like, it wasn't right. You know, usually you get spankings and stuff. I could understand that, but what me and my sister went through, it wasn't. No child should have to go through what we went through. I moved out. I'm currently staying with a friend of mine. I have to pay rent now. Like, I have to buy all my essentials, buy my clothes, underwear, everything, and it's really, really hard.
My eating disorder really started in my junior year of high school. I felt extremely alone suddenly. I had also recently lost someone close to me, and I was just kind of lost as a person, and I didn't know what to do.
My first year, and not even like 2 months into high school, I lost my brother. Certain things got rough. I didn't know who to go to. You know, I didn't want to go to other family. Around when it first happened, you know, I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't even want to go to school. But I know I at least had to show up. So I went.
I was having problems at home, and then like I was fighting a lot of people because people just didn't like me. Like, I had got shot during high school. Like, people in my family was passing. I
was working a lot. Like, I was at PBS between that Macy's and I work at a restaurant. My household, there are like economic, you know, the economy kind of has hit hard. And I would have to say that I'm saving up for my own college. So if you've been up and you got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for school, or 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready for school, and you went this whole day going to school, and as soon as you get off school, from 2 to 10, you're at work, you know, and you're tired. So most people are going to choose sleep over their homework.
Some of these St. Louis youth have witnessed their peers drop out of high school. Some of them have thought about dropping out themselves. Others have dropped out. Their expertise in this area helps us identify reasons why students may want to give up and not complete their education.
it's some that don't think they need school and don't think school is something that's right for them. I think the reason that most people drop out or even think about dropping out is their support system, because everything that you do is hard, but like high school is something that you need somebody to help you out with. You need somebody to be there for you.
I know people who have to provide for themselves, and with that, with them having to provide for themselves, they being felons, that's no job, and that's drugs, the system dirty, so you most definitely not finna get a job. So that's where the streets come in at, and that's where may have to be on the streets doing school just to provide for themselves. So that's where not coming to school come in at, and just that's where jail come in at, the crime. It's a bad city.
They just have other priorities. It could just be like, I have to help out my family. I know that's extremely large in the Hispanic community about having to help the family, because a lot of them are undocumented. They take low-paying jobs, so it has to be a multitude of them working in one household, or they have to be home taking care of the children while one person is out,
I was at a point where I wanted to drop out, so I guess it wasn't really getting to me that school was important at the time. So I was like, forget school.
They don't have that person to talk to them about it. They don't have the mentors. Like everything that I have, they probably won't have. They probably get in their head that I'm not going to be anything in life.
No hope for the future, because either their parents aren't succeeding, so that it's like, where's their encouragement? Where's their image to show them that people can't succeed? Man,
I can't do this. I'm getting these bad grades. They just don't believe in themselves. They have their low self-esteem, which put them down in a hole that they can't dig back out of, because they're just down so low, or they're not reading well, or they can't comprehend well, or they just can't get it, is making them in the mood like, wow, only way I'm gonna box myself out of this is by dropping out.
There's a lot of misunderstanding. In my case, my teachers and the administration didn't know how to handle a student who was struggling so badly with mental illness. I left high school because it wasn't good for my mental health. I've met students who have dropped out because they were bullied. I've met students who have dropped out because the administration pushed them out. To tell her side of the story, she was pushed out of school for her sexual orientation.
They dropped out because they were pregnant, and so, which is pretty, it's not understandable, but it's pretty common. I don't feel like it was unavoidable for them to drop out, because they weren't given other options in school. They was looked bad upon by teachers, shunned upon by students.
I've had friends that have dropped out because of drugs. They got caught drinking at school. I have some friends like that got caught drinking at school. And ever since then, they haven't had that yearn to even want to go back. So now they're just drinking their life away, or they're just, partying their life away, and they don't really see that, sometime it has to end.
I met a dude the other day. He dropped out of school his freshman year. I was just like, whoa, really?
Well, I got a friend, I wouldn't say that he dropped out, but he just never graduated. Cause he was a senior and everything. Like, he had great talent, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you why he wouldn't do it, because I believe if he would have graduated from high school, he probably would have got a lot of offers from colleges.
During one of the conversations, a youth mentioned to me, we'll never know why students drop out of high school until we sit them down and ask them. As we continue to work towards reaching the 90% high school graduation goal, let's not forget about the voices of the youth facing the dropout crisis head on.
Have resources, every available resource. You should have passionate teachers and counselors, because they're going to do their job even if they weren't even paid for it.
A lot of kids don't even know who their counselor is, because they don't ever come to them and be like, hey, come to me if you need things. They can do better. They can put more of an effort into their job and what they're doing.
Teachers could be more receptive to students' needs. I think it's important for teachers to convey why the information students are learning in class is important to their futures.
I think you could like form focus groups first for the whole school, and then you can say, oh, what is the problem?
Somewhere they can go play sports and talk to people that's inspirational instead of looking at drug dealers all day.
Community-wise, I have people in the community that are, right behind me with anything that I stand up and speak up for, and I have plenty of mentors.
I think your role model should be successful. They don't have to be Beyonce or Jay-Z or anybody, but they should be happy having the knowledge and being able to motivate you, give you information, help you out throughout hard times, good times.
You always need guidance because we don't know the answers to everything. We may think we do, but we really don't.
The best thing to do is advice. They probably don't want to hear it, but at the end of the day, the advice gonna help them because they hearing it, they comprehending it. Even whether they soak it in or do what they want to do, they gonna remember it.
Adults should just accept too, but also they should not be so quick to give their opinion. Once adults give their opinion on where you think you should go in life, on how you think you should act, on how they think a child should act, that's what triggers in their mind. They're like, oh, they're trying to change me. So in order for me not to be changed by this adult, then I'm gonna do my own thing. Encourage them to do better, encourage and then help them to do better. Stay clear from giving them opinions, stay clear from giving them lectures. They think it's helpful, but in a way it's not helpful. Adults try to prevent mistakes. That's good, but people need to make mistakes. Adults should encourage you to go at your first choice or to go with something that they wouldn't go with, because more so it's gonna help you succeed in life.
If somebody do something bad, like just tell them it was bad, don't try to like dog them out just for doing it.
I think parents need to let their children know that they are willing to be present in their education, that they're willing to assist where they can, to seek help where they can't.
My mom always told me, you're going to school, you're going to go to college, and you're going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I have to do it, is what Mom said.
After what my family's been through and what my family's history, they making sure that I do something different.
Be more supportive, stay on their teen and high school, because that's really going to keep them like, oh yeah, I better do this, or my parents are going to be mad at me. Parents should be more involved, and then teens will be like, oh, somebody actually cares.
Tell them about extra programs outside of school. Whenever they're feeling down, talk them up. Because who wouldn't need a good pep talk every now and then?
I was jumping in everything I can to keep myself from out of the streets, but in school.
Help others in class, form study groups.
I stress my point a lot, and I could talk to you and I could let you know why high school is a great idea, why high school is something you need, and your diploma is more important than any other thing that is out here.
Older youth needs to help the younger youth. They need to stop teaching bull, to kids and saying oh, high school is this and this and this. They need to start telling them what it's really about. By the time you're a senior and you're talking to a freshman, that's a lot more wisdom you should have.
The classmates can work together, like I said, relate, help one another, think beyond themselves, do whatever they feel is necessary, talk to the teachers, be more open.
And not everybody can get into college bound, but we're getting all of this information and learning all of these things. And if we speak up, we could continue this knowledge or spread this knowledge through the students who can't, who don't have the resources, who don't have mentors. Talk about college whenever you can.
Focus on building each other up. Everyone's in the same environment, facing similar challenges. Just be there. Be there for one another.
Just giving them self-empowerment. It's so many people in the world, so many kids in the world who put their friends down. Peers should help peers succeed by just accepting their friend for who they are.
People should be more aware. I think people should kind of look beyond themselves, because a lot of times I think people are kind of selfish, oh, this is about me. I don't have anything to do with her if she fails. We're still teens. We still, depend on one another.
that dream of your dream job or whatever, just keep that in your mind. Keep that in the back of your head. You can make it through anything because I know that you are strong as a person. Shoot for the stars.
When you're in high school, complete it. No matter what you're going through, it's best to get the little years over with and it'll breeze through.
Go back to school, get a degree, do something with your life.
Don't give up on yourself. I promise that there are reasons to finish your education, to succeed on your own terms, and to get your diploma.
Don't never let your dream fall away, because when you think you're close and you think you want to give up, that's when you're closer to making your distance.
Always stay positive. Don't worry about what people saying behind your back. If a friend crosses you, they wouldn't ever be your friend in the first place.
If you're getting bullied, don't let it get to your head. Keep going about your day and keep being the bright student that you are, because you can do it.
If you lose one of your family, don't just let the loss of your family member affect your education. I know the person that you have lost really would want you to succeed, so live up to their legacy.
People always say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, but the way I see it, life gives you lemons, make apple juice, be different. If you make your mark on this world, then you're a member. But once you start gearing towards the same crowd, gearing towards other people, then you're a part of society, but be different.
Learn to juggle socially and academically. Be aware of not only yourself, but others around you, because they may be silent but needing help. Be involved in anything that you can in school. It's gonna help you be better in college. Just never forget about education, because it's going to get you to where you need to go.
Well, there's a quote I made, and it's about a plane. A plane can go straight, but it can also go right and left. That right and left is you getting pulled between positive and negative. Sometimes it might happen, but it's okay. Everything's not perfect. You might have to go right and left a few times before you can continue going straight and moving forward. In order to do anything, you have to believe in yourself. And believe in yourself, you have to have hope. You gotta have hope and dream big. And I promise you, I guarantee you will be successful and you will be the leader.